Do this to instantly spark sexual chemistry with women you meet. Sexual chemistry isn't logical. It isn't about how many jokes you tell, or how polite you are, or even how handsome you look on paper. It's about what happens in those flashes of tension when her body reacts before her mind catches up. In this video, we'll cover 12 rarely talked about ways to ignite that exact spark, instantly, right there in the room. Whether it's a woman you're just meeting, a coworker you've always had undertones with, or a friend who suddenly sees you in a new light. 1. Lowering your voice mid-thought. Most men think sexual chemistry comes from what they say. In reality, it often comes from how the words land. Imagine you're mid-sentence, speaking in your normal tone, and then, for no reason at all, your voice drops, slower, deeper, as if you're confiding something private. You don't need to change the words, the subject, or the story. It could be about a meeting, a movie, or the weather. But that subtle drop forces her nervous system to tune in. It's primal. Low vocal tones register as intimacy. She feels her body tighten slightly, leaning closer, almost without realizing. That's when the electricity starts buzzing beneath the surface. 2. Letting your eyes pause where they shouldn't. Forget the cartoonish, undressing her with your eyes. That's too obvious. Real chemistry happens when your gaze lingers for just a heartbeat longer on something she doesn't expect. Maybe her wrist as she adjusts a bracelet. Maybe the hollow of her collarbone as she leans forward. Maybe her mouth when she laughs. Not a stare, not sleazy. Just a pause that communicates. I notice the parts of you others ignore. That awareness travels under her skin like a secret message. She feels exposed in a way that excites her, and suddenly, the space between you is charged. 3. Using stillness when she expects movement. When people get nervous, they fidget. They shift, nod, smile too much. But the body's most sexual signal is stillness. Picture this. She leans toward you in conversation, her energy spilling forward. Instead of matching it with movement, you hold your ground, completely still, just watching her. That lack of reaction feels like a pressure against her. It's the same reason a still hand hovering near skin feels hotter than one that's already touching. She starts to feel the tension coil, and her own body fills the silence your stillness creates. That unbroken calm pulls her into a sexual frame without a single word. 4. Hinting at control without stating it. Direct dominance talk is clumsy in normal settings, especially with friends or coworkers, but you can communicate control in a way that's playful, subtle, and deeply sexual. For example, she goes to grab a menu and you casually slide it toward her first, like you anticipated her move. Or she reaches for her drink and you rest your finger on the rim for half a second before letting go. These micro gestures say, I notice, I lead, you follow, even if it's only for a second. It's not verbal, it's not aggressive, but it sends a current through the dynamic. She feels her body respond before her brain has words for it. 5. Breaking rapport mid-laughter. Most men think laughter is the ultimate connector. And yes, it bonds, but sexual chemistry doesn't live in endless harmony. It thrives on disruption. Here's how you use it. You're both laughing, leaning into the lightness, and then, suddenly, you stop. Not rudely, not cold, just, you stop. Maybe you hold her gaze, expression unreadable, as if you're wondering something about her she can't place. That abrupt shift takes the warmth of laughter and flips it into tension. She feels her pulse jump, like the floor just tilted under her. That's the exact moment where her body realizes this isn't just friendly banter. This has teeth. 6. Creating private frames in public spaces. Sexual chemistry heightens when the two of you feel like you're sharing something the rest of the room isn't privy to. That doesn't require secret touches or dramatic whispers. It can be as small as lowering your head slightly when you speak, so only she hears, or describing something ordinary with a tone that makes it sound charged, like pointing out how she holds her glass, not what she's drinking. Suddenly, you and she are in a bubble, and the rest of the room fades. That bubble is where sexual undertones breed, because you've carved out a world of two inside a world of many. 7. Letting silence frame your answer. When she asks you something, whether it's, do you like this place? Or, what are you doing this weekend? Most men rush to answer. They don't realize the space before the reply is often more powerful than the reply itself. Picture her asking, and instead of answering right away, you let a beat or two pass. Your eyes stay on her, not vacant, but focused, as though you're weighing how much of yourself to reveal. That hesitation pulls her into your internal world, and it feels intimate, even a little vulnerable. By the time you answer, she's already felt the friction of wanting something from you, and that wanting is the seed of sexual tension. 8. Anchoring her with unspoken mirroring. There's a cliche about mirroring someone's body language. Forget that. Everyone's heard it. Everyone overdoes it. The real trick is to mirror something subtle, then stop before she notices. Imagine she crosses her legs and you adjust slightly as if echoing, then freeze before it's too obvious. Or she leans her head to one side, and a moment later you tilt yours just barely. This creates an almost imperceptible echo that links your bodies on a subconscious level. But here's the kicker. When you stop mirroring, she often feels the break and will unconsciously shift to mirror you. That flip, her aligning with your body, injects a sudden sexual polarity into the air. 9. Using deliberate slowness in physical space. Speed is safe. Quick movements feel friendly, practical, non-threatening. But deliberate slowness? That's inherently sensual. Next time you hand her something, don't pass it quickly. Let your hand move just a little slower, as if savoring the moment of exchange. If you're pulling your chair closer at a table, do it with controlled, unhurried movement. Slowness signals presence, attention, and intimacy. It makes her hyper-aware of your body's rhythm. And when a woman syncs to your rhythm, even subconsciously, that's when chemistry locks in tight. 10. Dropping tension with a crooked smile. Sexual charge can't just climb endlessly. It has to release in bursts, or it becomes too heavy. That's where the crooked smile comes in. Imagine you're holding her gaze. The air feels thick. She's caught between words. And then the corner of your mouth lifts, not into a full grin, but a sly, knowing curve. It's the smile that says, I know what's happening here, and I'm enjoying it. That subtle break releases the tension just enough to make her laugh nervously, glance away, or bite her lip. But here's the magic. The spark reignites stronger right after, because she now knows you see the chemistry, and you're confident enough to acknowledge it without deflating it. 11. Introducing double meaning into ordinary talk. Sexual chemistry thrives on ambiguity, when the words are innocent, but the delivery makes them anything but. For example, she says she's tired, and you respond, yeah, you look like you need someone to wear you out properly. Said with a calm, playful tone, it's not explicit, but it carries a charge. Or she mentions cooking, and you reply, careful, I might let you feed me something dangerous. The words pass as banter, but the undercurrent is unmistakable. What happens is, her mind splits in two directions, the literal meaning and the suggestive meaning. That split is friction, and friction is where sexual chemistry breathes. 12. Holding back just enough to make her chase. Here's the paradox. To spark sexual chemistry, you don't always give. Sometimes you withhold. That doesn't mean playing hard to get or acting disinterested. It means allowing her to want something and not immediately granting it. Maybe you lean in like you're about to share a secret, then stop short and just smile instead. Maybe you brush close as if you might whisper in her ear, but you keep it in the air. These half steps leave her body craving the completion. The unfulfilled motion lingers longer than any direct move ever could. She'll walk away thinking about what didn't happen, and that's what keeps the chemistry alive long after the moment passes.